Hi guys, and welcome back to the Get Growth channel. You're here back with us at our live event that we do every Thursday at 4 p.m. London time. And as today's title says, we're going to talk a little bit about content analysis today. And Florine has started a little bit to talk about this subject last week when he presented to you basically the expectation marketing strategy that we've worked on for a while now here. And today I would just want to show you more another way of doing content analysis, and basically that would be an SEO audit. So besides the fact that you will know if your audience is actually responding to your message and if you're sending the right amount of content and the content that they expect to find on your site, you'll also know if your search engine optimization, your SEO, is done right from that perspective for the content that you create. So that's what we're going to look at today. Before we start talking more on this subject, if you're here at the live event, do make sure to leave your comments and questions in the live chat. I'll take some time to answer all your comments at the end of the stream and just see what other questions you have, either about what I'm presenting today or any of our videos from the Get Growth and the Home SEO series. Okay. So I said, yes, content analysis, that's what I was. And I was saying that Florine presented more about expectation marketing. So this is a strategy that we've worked on for some time now, and we've tried with our team to perfect it, basically with our clients to make it better for you to have a way, first of all, to a content analysis method, let's say so. And that's the audit that he presented last week. But also on this side, because it's a new site and we haven't used it for that long, I want to show you a little bit how the SEO audit from Squirrly actually looks like. Now, if you have a WordPress site, this is a really great option. But if you don't have a WordPress site and you would still like to do an SEO audit, or just you're searching for an SEO audit tool, you can also try ContentLook that I have here opened. This is great for any type of site that you have, and it can also give you more in-depth information when it comes to content analysis, because you can connect it to your Google Analytics account and basically see more data. It will help you interpret that data. But again, this software is in beta, so you'll see some glitches with it probably when you use it, but you can create a free account right now and just see have a great content analysis for your own site, even if it's not on WordPress and you cannot use Squirrly right now. Okay. So I've just came back to my site here, and I went to the dashboard basically, and I'm going to search here in the Squirrly plugin. We have the Audit Site here section, and I'm just going to click on it. Now, it's going to give you here the score that you have and the date that it was basically created, the last audit. So that's 4 days ago, and we had 46 out of 100. Again, it's a new site. It's going to get a better score each week because this is the weekly audit, and you'll see basically better results. Now, either if you have the pro version of Squirrly or the free one, you have the audit. The only difference is that if you have the free version, you only have the audit for one page on your site, and if you have the pro one, you'll get multiple pages included in the audit. Okay, and now let's basically see the audit here. Okay, so depending on your account, you may have multiple sites. And here's the site that I was looking at. So yeah, I was saying that it's 46, and we could see actually how it's been doing since last week. So as it says, the audit score increased with 9 points since the last one. And we can basically see the date as well for the last one here. Okay. And now we have two options basically. We can request a new audit now, and it will basically try to generate a new one, an updated one with the new version here in my Squirrly, or we can basically see our SEO audit. And we're just going to go to that, that's what we care about. So the score here, we also have a preview. So I was saying that it's basically also a content analysis tool from my perspective, because you get to see a lot of aspects that are connected to your content, not just your SEO, specific your SEO, other aspects like the content that you have, how frequently you blog, and of course those influence your SEO score and how you're ranking on Google, but they're not just the technical aspects of it. Okay, and then again, we have here that it's a low score, that it's growing, as we see, like 9 points each week. And the medium score is the one around the one that we have, and then the good score is over 80. Okay, and now we have the 6 sections here that we can see. Basically, the blogging, the traffic, the SEO, the technical part, the social, links, and authority. Okay, and then we have a few to-dos that we can do for our site that I'll talk about more after we look over each aspect. So in blogging, we have 3 things here in the version that I have. The first one is the posting frequency in the last 30 days. So we have an article published every 2 days, which that is really great. If not, you can of course start to publish more content, create more content, which is really important in this content analysis strategy that I'm talking about, but as well in expectation marketing. If you want to do it properly, people will expect to see an active brand, and that means that you have content on your blog as frequently as possible, at least once a week, of course. Okay. Then does your site have a feed or a sitemap? And our site does have that, and you can basically see here the link. This is because we're using Squirrly. Again, do you optimize articles for search? The answer is yes. If you get a no answer in this audit, just I'm showing you everything, all the information that you get here. You can check out the video that Florine did a few weeks ago, where he presented more about how you can basically optimize your article while you're writing it. I'll make sure to add a link in the cards, basically, that you'll find here above in the video. Okay. And then this is basically the first section that you'll see. So yeah, we have the frequency, the sitemap, and the optimization for the articles. Next will be the traffic. So not so good traffic, of course. I'm expecting to see that because my site is not that old, so it's only starting now to get more traffic. It basically gets an estimate of the traffic that you've had in the last week. And based on that estimate, it gives you a rough if it's enough or not. Okay, and then we have meta keywords that we've done that already. Usually if you have Squirrly and you're using the snippet, you should have this if you're optimizing your keywords, because Squirrly will make sure to add the keyword tag to your articles. It's also important to use long tail keywords that we have here, so at least 3 words in your keyword. You can find more long tail keywords if you're using the keyword research tool from Squirrly. Okay, and I can tell you more about that research, but I've also done a video, so I'll link to that as well in the description after it. Now, why is this important, really, to have all this information in a meta keyword and to look over this when you're doing the SEO audit? Is because this is the part that would really influence the way that you're ranking. It's not just enough to have the information in your article, so basically the content that you see to be optimized. So to have the keyword at least several times in your article, to keep that in mind, to have it in the alt tag of the images and bolded ones in the article. But it's also important for the meta information, basically the information that Google receives about your article, to also have all this details and information. So that's why it's important to check from time to time, because the SEO audit will let you know if there are problems with this data. Now, the next aspect in our SEO audit here is that if our site is visible for search engines or not. There might be sites that have multiple pages that are no index, and at one point you have basically no pages that can be ranked because Google knows that it shouldn't rank those pages. That can be one of the problems. Or it just doesn't have enough information in order for the search engine to crawl it, to be able to crawl it. Now, another aspect that you could face while you're doing the SEO audit is the duplicate of the meta tags. And here as you can see for each one of them here in the category, you can see the open graph meta, the Twitter card, meta description, meta title. So how could this happen? Like, you're setting it only once. How could this happen to have them as a duplicate for any page in your site? Well, if you're using multiple like you have an SEO team, you're using multiple SEO plugins, or any other aspect like this where there are multiple softwares that are taking care of your SEO, of your search engine optimization for the site, you might get this information from multiple places. But the good part is, if you're using Squirrly, you won't have this problem anymore, because it will just find the duplicates, eliminate them, and just leave the one that you've set in Squirrly if you're using that. So if you're using the snippet for your article to basically create the metadata, you'll only have it once, and it'll only be the one that you set there. And this is really important, and many people are not aware of this, again, because it's not like the information that you see usually from an article, it's the metadata for it. Okay, so the same thing, so here's about the duplicate, but the duplicate title and description. So duplicate title can even happen to the titles that you actually see, because you could have duplicate pages in your site. Of course, if you have them as duplicate, the URL won't be the same for them. They could have at least a number or any variable in it to change that, but at the same time the title can be the same, and that can be a problem for Google, because if you know a little bit about duplicate content, duplicate title is a part of that aspect. So if you have the same article with the same title, especially within your site, it will cause a problem in ranking for any of those pages that have the duplicate title. Okay. The next aspect that we have here as a content analysis aspect is the duplicate description. So yeah, this refers to the meta description, of course, that you set for your article. Okay, then empty titles and empty description. This can also happen, especially if you haven't set it for each page in your site, and this is something that you'll be really happy to hear more about in the future weeks when we're going to launch the new version of Squirrly. The beta version is already out, so if you're interested in that, you can find it in the description on the directory, in the WordPress directory. You can basically go there and just sign up for testing our beta version that's going to be launched in the future weeks, basically. And we're always still going to do an event here on YouTube, so you can subscribe to our channel if you'd like to be part of that live event. Okay, and basically there are pages that you haven't set the description and the title for, and this is also a problem because in the moment that Google finds that page, it won't rank it as high as others because it doesn't have a clear title and description that they're going to show in the snippet in Google. And what I'm referring to here is, I'm just gonna search something on Google. Let's say content marketing, just to give you a short idea of what I'm talking about. So basically this information here for this site, Neil Patel's site, so the title of this, basically the guide, and the description that you can see here is the meta information that it has. So you need to specify this for either for each page or do it in bulk for multiple pages, but Google and even other search engines need to know exactly what information to put there. Even if you already have a title that you've written in for your article on the post, that might not be enough if you don't have the meta title, description, meta title included. So that's what it's going to check here. Squirrly is going to tell you if there's any duplicates, duplicates here, and if there's any empty title and empty description. Okay. Again, do you have a title tag? And you see here there's expectation marketing, the new marketing system that builds trust. Okay. we have that already. And of course, if you have a meta description, and we have that for the site. And if we have the canonical links for the site, and we do have that, and that's great. Okay. And then another aspect that is really important is the robot.txt file. That, because we're using Squirrly, we do have that. It finds it. It tells us in the audit. If you might not have this file, or you might not have the settings for Squirrly done, we will look into this in the future. And the next aspect is the site icon that I've talked about in past weeks. I've talked about the five icon and how you can set it for your site. So basically that's just this little element you can see here in the tab, and it's easy for people to identify it when you have multiple tabs, that's your site. And it also is important basically for ranking as well. It's just a little small detail in your whole content analysis, but that's why you're doing an SEO audit, just to look at every little aspect that is connected with your site. Okay, and then you have the site language. Yeah, if it's enabled, so basically if you declared what language your site is in our case it's English, of course, because the content is all written in English. So there's the meta viewport that we have not set up. So this basically means that people that are visiting our site from mobile devices won't have the best experience yet, but we'll promise that we'll take care of this in the future weeks, because that's where we're still working on it. And the SEO audit from Squirrly help us basically to decide what we're going to work on. Okay, and then there's other aspects, technical aspects of SEO that you'll find here. Just to mention here, like the page load time, that's really important to be as low as possible, so people get to have their page loaded as fast and not have a problem with that. Sometimes if your page loads hard and it takes lots of time to load in the browser, people can get an error or things like that. Okay. Again, the next chapter here that's really important, it's social, but again, as I was saying, that we haven't promoted the site yet, so that's why we don't really have an average share per latest post, and we do have the share buttons, but only on some of the pages, and we should have them on our articles, so people can easily share our articles with their social media audiences. And taking this thing, it's clear that our social impact isn't much here, but it's really great to see this data, especially when you want to know information about your site here. Of course, this is not going to be as relevant for just your domain, but for each article, and getting an average of them is really important, just so you know that what's the average that you get on your site, and it's a fast way of knowing this rather than doing it manually. And again, here basically you'd have the averages, the shares that you get for each platform. So again, you could basically just look at this and know which platform is the best performing for your own brand and your own site. So that's why I like this information. I consider it really useful. Okay, and then the Open Graph protocol, that I've shown you how you can do that, and the Twitter card. I'll make sure to add a card for this one, for the Twitter card, so you can see the video to set it up if you don't already have it on your site. This is basically a way that you'll get more reactions to your tweets, because it will look better and it would be more visible in people's feed. Social media follow me buttons, of course, those should be added as well, so people can subscribe to your social media channels. Okay, and then there's other aspects here that we need to take into account. Links. Here, just one point that I want to make sure I present to you is the fact that it's really important to not just have a lot of links back to your site, but also to have them from different unique domains, as you can see here, because that shows you that more sites consider your information useful and as a reference that they could use in their own articles, and that's why they link back to you, to your site, to your domain. And it's also really good to have those links to different pages in your site, so like articles or I don't know, sections and categories in your site, not just to your main domain. So if you can do that and you can make sure to have that, that will drastically improve your rankings on Google, because it's a really important aspect. And it's also important to know that domains that you get the links from have a good domain authority. The best one, I think, that should be above 50, 60. So if you can find those types of domains and you can, I don't know, try to create a guest post for them to link back to your site, or just include one of your infographics in their site, embed them, that would also be a great option. Okay, and the last part is the authority. That takes basically information from Moz rank and Moz authority. Of course, this is a new site. Okay, but the last and most important part of this content analysis method, our SEO audit tool, is the fact that you get the sticky notes that basically help you improve your score. And I'm just gonna click here to take me to the first part. Okay, so as you've seen while I was going through the audit, there were some aspects that we needed to work more on, especially how this is a new site, and that we've launched only in the last weeks. And here are the aspects that we really should focus on, and the audit basically tells us which these are. Try to get organic traffic to your site's page. Yeah, and if I click here, it's basically going to connect it to the estimate traffic, and I can mark it as complete, right, or close it. And there's also an article here for each one of them, just so you can have a point where to start creating more ideas from on how to apply this. Okay, and you can also see all your tasks. So get links to your page from domains with authority. This is exactly what I was talking to you about just a few minutes ago. Yeah, the page authority in Moz is calculated metric. And that's really important to basically get really good links from domains that basically Google trusts. So that means that if they trust that site and that site links back to your site, a little part of that trust will go over to you, to your site as well. Okay, and every other aspect, and basically you can just start working on this, and you know what you have to work on your site from an SEO perspective this week, and then from this week to the next one, you'll see if your score improves based on the things that you've completed. And that's a really great tool that you have to basically have a full content analysis of your own site, and of what you're creating on it. So today we've talked about the SEO aspects of a content analysis, not just the marketing aspects that we've talked about in the last video we've done here on the channel. And basically now you have a complete overview of how your marketing strategy is actually doing. You know if your audience is finding the content that they expect to find, and also if search engines are also finding what they need in order to rank you higher on Google. I'm glad that you've been here today with me, and you've listened to the live event. Hope this was useful for you. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future and also be part of our live events, make sure to subscribe so you get a notification each time a new video and a live event is on here on the Get Grow channel. You can also find us on social media. Here's our Twitter, our Instagram, and of course the link to our blog where you can find lots of lessons to become a better marketer. I hope you had a great day with me today. See you next week, and make sure to audit your site until then. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.